What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Tank Davis, Gervonta Tank Davis, and Lomachenko in the news. Some terrible news. It looks like we won't be getting Tank Davis versus Lomachenko, at least not in 2024. And here is why. Alright, so shout out to Boxing News 24 says Lomachenko not in the mood for Tank Davis fight, says manager. Vasiliy Lomachenko's manager Igor Kimas revealed that Loma isn't motivated right now to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. He says he's not in the mood. Kimas states that the IBF lightweight champion Lomachenko, who has a record of 18-3 with 12 knockouts, will not fight until later this year. He's not retiring, and he just wants to spend time with his family following his 11-round knockout victory over George Kambosos on May 2nd. It's unclear how this will impact the unification fight with Tank Davis, who is 30-0 with 28 knockouts, because that match wasn't expected to occur until November at the earliest. Loma is not in the mood right now. He doesn't have the motivation at all at the moment. He's taking off. He wants to spend time with his family. He doesn't want to do anything until the end of this year, Igor said to Steve Kim about Vasiliy Lomachenko not interested in the fighting right now. Lomachenko has made enough money to kick back, so you can't blame him for not wanting to rush back into another grueling training camp. His dad reportedly convinced him to come back and fight Kambosos Jr. after he had been out of the ring for a year after losing the 12-round controversial decision against Devin Haney on May 20th in 2023. Unless Team Tank was trying to push for the fight to happen earlier than November, it shouldn't be a big deal that Lomachenko won't be available to fight until later this year. Fans on social media view this news as a signal that Lomachenko, who's 36, is ducking the fight with Gervonta Davis. But that doesn't sound realistic. Lomachenko has been pushing for a fight with Gervonta for the last 6 years with no luck until now. If Lomachenko wants to take the remainder of the year off, Tank and his team will need to consider other options for a fight in November or December unless they want to take the remainder of 2024 off. Shakur Stevenson, who is the WBC lightweight champion, would jump at the chance to fight Tank Davis in November or December. Tank only fought once since 2023 against Ryan Garcia, so it shouldn't be a big deal if he sits and waits until the Loma fight in 2025. So he's definitely not coming into the ring until the end of the year. Clemens continued about the IBF lightweight champion Lomachenko. With Loma, just money isn't what motivates him. He doesn't want to take anything just because of money. Loma has got to be motivated to fight right now, and if he feels he needs more time to restore his motivation before taking a fight with Tank, it's understandable. That's the type of fight where Loma must be 100% motivated, because he would be the underdog and expected to lose by knockout. It wouldn't have been the same way if Tank had fought Lomachenko 6 years ago when he first showed interest in fighting him, but he and his team waited until now to take the fight with him. Was that a calculated move on Tank and his team's part? It's possible. They aged him out, pulling the trigger on the fight. You can offer him millions, tens of millions of dollars. If he doesn't have motivation, he's not ready to appear for the fight. Lomachenko is not retired, said Clemens. All right, so let's talk about it. All right, so let's go ahead and break this down. All right, now this is terrible news because I was really looking forward to this fight, right? First of all, man, I'm tired of. Listen, either you want to see the fight or you don't want to see the fight. And the reason why I say that is because, bro, you can't sit here and keep giving Lomachenko an scapegoat by saying, oh, Lomachenko's old. He's old, so Tank waited him out. He's old. So basically, like, if I'm Tank, it's like, okay, so what's the point of me fighting him if y'all are just giving him this excuse already by saying he's old, even though he has a world title, and even though he just came off of a knockout victory over George Kambosos, a guy that was not knocked out by Teofimo or Devin Haney or whatnot. You guys are already giving him an excuse. And it's almost like, well, what's the point of me even fighting him if y'all are just going to sit here and just say he's old anyways, right? Granted, yes, he is 36 years old. But was Mayweather old when he fought Canelo Alvarez? The same exact age as he was as Lomachenko, right? But you guys don't want to talk about that. You guys don't like to say that, right? You guys like to say how young Canelo Alvarez, but nobody likes to talk about how old Floyd was. Or is it just that y'all not gonna say? And you can't say, well, Floyd he ain't taking that much punishment, bro. Floyd at 36 had 44 fights. Lomachenko at 36 only has 21 fights. Yes, he has a he has a great amateur career, but I'm talking about 21 pro fights. That's a whole other tax on your body. So people got to stop saying this whole excuse, talking about giving him an excuse already, because that's gonna make dude now. If Tank uses your excuse against you and says I don't want to fight Lomachenko because he's old, you guys are gonna then say he's ducking him. So you guys gotta quit with that, bro. You gotta quit with that. The man has a world title. If Tank wants to unify, go for it. Oh well, you gotta give him his credit because he has a world title. All right. Furthermore, listen. All right. It sucks that this is like going on. What confuses me though is the fight was supposed to be projected in November. So like what? Why don't, instead of just putting the fight off, why don't they just say like, hey, I'll just put. Can we at least put negotiations on hold, or you can put in negotiations? Can we make the fight in December? Like, I don't understand why you have to just completely rule out this fight if you're gonna go ahead and still fight later this year. I'm sure Lomachenko is gonna speak on it because it doesn't make sense. Now, granted, I don't think that Lomachenko is afraid of Tank because Lomachenko has been pushing for this fight for the longest. It's actually been Tank's people that's been more so hesitant to fight Lomachenko in the past 6 years, right? I'll never forget, because I was mad, man. I'll never forget when Tank was like, well, like he said this like in 2019, and he was like, well, Lomachenko's door, his window is closing, he's getting up there or getting old or whatever the situation may be, which kind of hurts what I was just arguing about. But I knew that was just an excuse. But he was like, he's getting old. We're young, whatever the case may be, and he turned around and fought an older Gamboa. You know what I'm saying? So Loma's been pushing for this fight. I don't think Loma's afraid, but it just kind of doesn't make sense to me. It's like something that we don't know about, or something that we're out of loop about, because it's like, again, why wouldn't Loma just say, hey, but let's just make the fight in December instead? Like, but regardless of whatever the situation may be, I do want to know this: would you guys give Tank a pass if Tank just did the same thing? If Tank pulled out of the fight and said, I'm not in the mood to fight Lomachenko, would you guys give Tank a pass? I don't think you would. As a matter of fact, I think you would all call Tank a duck. So keep that same energy, all right? Put the pressure on Lomachenko. I mean, bro, it's in November. It's July. You fought in May. It happens. Floyd used to fight in May and then turn around and fight in September. Canelo does the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It happens sometimes like that. Tank Davis last year fought in January and then turned around and fought in March, or was it April? I'm sorry. In January, turned around and fought him in April. And personally, to be honest, I would much rather go ahead and fight in like November. You can catch an early fight in November. That way, shoot, you still got Thanksgiving, or I don't know if they celebrate Thanksgiving over there in the the Ukraine. But you got Christmas right there. You got the holidays. You ain't even got to go through training camp for the holidays, bro. You can relax and then spend that much time. I don't know where Lomachenko is going at with this, but it kind of just it's kind of one of the things where I would like to hear Lomachenko like give his reason more so like as it than just spending, I want to spend time with my family. Like, ain't that what you're doing right now? I mean, I don't want to be one to sound selfish or anything like that, but I just don't think that that's a good enough reason to not want to fight in November. You said you want to fight late this year. I mean, November is definitely late this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? I just don't think that's a good enough reason to stop the whole negotiations. If anything, like I said, put that in the negotiations. Like, hey, let's make this fight in December instead. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion on it, bro. I personally don't think that the fight should. I don't think that the fight should be put off. That's just my opinion, though, man. But if we can't get Lomachenko versus Tank, I would love to get Williams Zepeda versus Tank. I would love that fight, but I have a feeling that they're gonna go the IBF. Is it the IBF? No, the WBO route. Because I don't think I don't know who holds the WBO title at 135. I know Tank holds the WBA, Loma holds the IBF, and Shakur holds the WBC. So I'm trying to figure out who holds the WBO, and that might be the route that Oscar De La Hoya goes for Williams Zepeda. So I don't know what's out there for Tank. I mean, I don't think they will fight Shakur, and I'm gonna make a video on why I really would not care for that fight right now. But even though it's a fight that does need to happen, but anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?